Hello and welcome back to Alchemy Ship. My name is Andrash, and today I want to do another devlog. There's been some super cool changes that I've been working on in the past couple of weeks, and I can't wait to show them off. I've gotten the game to a place where I basically know where I want it to be when it's finished, and this has been a huge relief, and I've started to really work on the content and really work on finishing the game. There's no more experimenting, and I can start cleaning the code up, I can start improving the systems that are already in place, and I've made some really cool things. So first, I finally decided to stop complicating, stop trying to be smart, and just add a nice, simple progression system. So how it works is basically after every run, you get a certain amount of XP points and you unlock new stuff. Super simple, super effective. Basically, why I decided this is because I saw in other games how fun it is to unlock new stuff. And I just said to myself, you know, just do something like that, right? It works well, it's fun, why not? The other way of unlocking new stuff has also been improved. Each NPC in the headquarters now no longer has like a smartly designed progression of quests and unlocks. They give you repeatable quests that can be random, so basically they always have something for you to do, and you can also give them this goo resource that you collect in the run to improve your relationship with them. And then whenever you ding a level with them, basically increase your relationship level with them, you unlock some stuff. And specifically with them, you're going to be able to unlock some starting stuff. And this is now only going to be a character and a starting item, which is only going to be a one thing. Before I had 4 starting things that you could select. It was an ability, and then you had 3 other items. And that was kind of fun, but the problem was I had to make all of those items really generic. None of them could be like really strong because they would always be picked. So they were just kind of boring. But now what I want to do is basically make the main bulk of changes in one item, which is going to be the character or an outfit. So this way I can make super unique effects for them and super strong effects as well, but they can be nicely balanced by getting an equally strong negative effect to kind of, you know, make the whole thing balanced. But with this I can make super unique characters to make the runs feel different, to actually try to experience the game in a different way. And then that item that you also can select is just going to change some stats around just a bit, maybe give you a bit more health, maybe give you a better reload speed. Basically a small little change that's really catered to you, something that really helps you in an area of the game that you might be a bit worse at. And speaking of the headquarters, the whole area has also been redesigned. It's a bit more compact now, a bit more lively. There's some trees you can see outside. I'm already working on an area where the player is going to be, like his room or locker room, something like that. There's going to be an office for the general, and I've also added the general to the headquarters. He's now walking around saluting and bumping his head in the walls, and he's going to give you missions, and this is going to be basically your main progression, your main goal of the game. The mission that he gives you are also going to pop up in the level select when you go to the pilot and you start a new run. You're going to see all the missions that are available, and yeah, I basically figured out how many of these missions are going to be, what's going to be the last mission, how are you going to get there. There's obviously some stuff that still needs to be figured out, also in terms of, you know, story and theme, but I mostly know where the thing is going to be when it's finished, and that feels really good. And the speed of development has increased quite a lot, I can say that. Now, before I move on to the final and probably the coolest point, so stay tuned, I would really like to thank you for watching this video, and if you're enjoying it, please like it and maybe share it. In the comments down below, let me know what you think about it. All of these things are incredibly helpful to me, and I would really appreciate them. So, final point, I'm changing the way the levels are designed and the way the enemies behave. So specifically before, levels were wave-based, so you had a couple of waves to defeat in each level. But now, instead of that, all of the enemies are pre-spawned when you get into the room, and when you kill them, it's over, it's done. You can move on to the next one. Now this made levels a lot shorter and also a lot more fresh, because you always fight in a new area and you can interact with different wall positions, different shrubbery that spawned, and also in the future when I make some interactive props, those are also going to be always interesting because it's always a new area. And because of this, because the levels are shorter, I can also make a bit more of them before we reach the boss fight, and I can give you a bit less stuff at the end of each room. So there's like less of a avalanche of decisions that you have to make. So there's not as much micromanagement, and the flow of the game is not broken as much. And at least for me, the game feels a lot better to play now. And in terms of the challenge, this is, I think, the coolest thing. I'm adding enemy evolutions. Now the main one is just going to be enemy health health scaling. This is gonna happen probably after every room. So now the enemies nicely scale, you always have a reason to find a better build, and also apart from enemy health scaling, now I'm also adding actual evolutions, which are gonna be like negative modifiers that enemies get here and there. And this can be all kinds of things. So for instance, enemy projectiles can be volatile, which makes them split after a second. Or enemies can only take 50% of max health as damage in a single hit, or bigger enemies split into smaller critters on death, or melee enemies have a bigger attack range, all kinds of stuff, right? So things that makes enemies different, basically making the game technically more difficult and interesting, and every run is gonna do this differently. So apart from you building a different magazine and finding different items every run, you're also gonna have this additional layer of uniqueness for each run, and yeah, I'm just really excited about it. So that's it. That's basically the whole thing. I mean, there's obviously a lot of small things like always, but these are the main things that I wanted to tell you about. And hopefully, if everything goes well, I should be able to make another build next week. So if any of you are still interested in trying the game, join the Discord server, apply to be a playtester, and if you want to play the game as soon as possible, send me a message. I'll be happy to send you a key. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you again for watching the video, and if you don't want to miss the next time I upload, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you up in the next one. Cheers.